What's a cover song that's better than the original?
Nirvana. Where Did You Sleep Last Night, Leadbelly cover.
Johnny Cash's cover of Hurt.
Black Sheep Brie Larson.
With a little help from my Beatles version it's good, but Joe Cocker's version is definitely better.
Bang Bang My Baby Shot Me Down by Nancy Sinatra is way better than the original from Cher.
Faith No More, I'm Easy.
Four Non-Blondes cover of He-Man's What's.
Blinded by the Light was a Springsteen song, and Manfred Mann's Earth Band covered it. Also funny mention, but Pat Boone had a metal album that was all covers, including Holy Diver. It's not good. Funny though.
Original so much better. All Along the Watchtower, Hendrix.
Whiskey in the Jar, Metallica.
Amy Winehouse's cover of Valerie ETA, wasn't expecting so much response. I personally also prefer the original and agree the cover is overplayed. However, I think the cover is objectively better musically.
Pearl Jam, Last Kiss.
Nirvana. Lake of Fire by the Meat Puppets. Loved that song.
Man Who Sold the World also. I can't listen to David Bowie's version.
Alien Ant Farm. Smooth Criminal. I Said It.
Dazed and Confused, Led Zeppelin Babe I'm Gonna Leave You, Led Zeppelin Gallows Pole, Led Zeppelin When the Levee Break. Led Zeppelin 1 could go on but won't.
Man of Constant Sorrow by the Soggy Bottom Boys. From Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
Holding Out for a Hero by Jennifer Saunders.
Even Dylan said the song belonged to Hendrix after he heard it.
Sound of Silence by Disturbed. Even Paul Simon agreed.
I Will Always Love You, Dolly Parton. I Will Always Love You, Whitney Houston.
Torn by Natalie Imbruglia.
Respect by Aretha Franklin is the best cover song, but my favorite is by the Fugees covering Roberta Flack's Killing Me Softly. Norah Jones also did a beautiful cover of Don't Know Why.
You guys have already hit a lot of them, but I would add Hazy Shade of Winter by the Bangles was better than Simon and Garfunkel's version.
The Wiggles covering Elephant, originally by Tame.
Blue Bayou Linda Ronstadt. Blue Heart Smiling Face Heartsuit.
Tainted Love by Soft Cell.
Is that the one from Shrek? That one was fire.
Talking Heads Take Me to the River.
The Fairy Godmother's cover of Holding Out for a Hero.
The Pogues, and the band played Waltzing Matilda.
Higher Ground, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I love the original by Stevie Wonder, but I like the cover better.
Absolutely. Michael himself liked it, so it's a win all around.
Whiskey in the Jarro.
Hard disagree on this one. It's just so overly angsty and edgy, like a teenage fanfiction version.
Mad World, Gary Jules.
Night That the Lights Went Out in Georgia, Reba.
Johnny Be Good, Chuck Berry. The original version is performed by Marty McFly in 1955 at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance.
It's missing the best part of the song though. Leonard Cohen was a poet. When I listen to his music I'm listening intently on the words, and Jeff Buckley cut the best lyrics.
C minor. Put it in C minor.
Nirvana, Plateau, also by the Meat Puppets, my favorite.
Harry Nilsson's version of Without You. Originally recorded by Badfinger, who I believe were one of the first bands to sign with Apple Records.
Bowling for Soup 1985.
Isn't that the misquoted Dylan saying that Hendrix made the song his own, which carries a different meaning?
Which was originally a song about a man wanting respect from the woman.
I can still see the music video in my head, the kid dancing and lighting up the sidewalk. Such a great video, IMO.
No, what is stated is 100% accurate. Dylan gifted the rights of the song to me. It's on the internet. Winking face. Edit. Not paying attention and up the quip.
Johnny Cash did the best version of almost every song he ever covered. Love his version of U2's One.
They ain't even old-timey.
I will not accept Tears for Fears slander.
Wow, I've loved this song since it came for like 25 years and never knew it was a cover.
It's worth noting that the song is way older than Leadbelly's recording of it. His was just the first surviving recording. It's a new old folk song, sometimes called In the Pines, or Pines Blues, and people used to sing it lots of different ways before it was standardized. A few other folk songs are like this. House of the Rising Sun was Rising Sun Blues for generations before the Animals' popular cover was released.
Didn't even know Cher had a version, much less the original.
Led Zeppelin is my favorite cover band.
Israel Kamakawiwo'll, Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
The Soggy Bottom Boys are just Union Station, IIRC. Dan Tominski did George Clooney's vocals at least.
Same with Dolly Parton to Whitney Houston for I Will Always Love You.
99 Red Balloons, Goldfinger.
Atlantic City by the band.
Richard Cheese, Down with the Sickness.
It's not even so much the music. It's the context and accompanying video for Cash's version that make it such an incredibly powerful. Few months prior to the song's release, he lost his wife of 35 years. A few months after the song's release, he himself would be dead. He is reflecting on his life and career while grieving his wife, and most likely knowing he does not have much time left. For a man that built his career on an image of rugged masculinity, having such a vulnerable and relatable swan song is very humanizing, and do love NIN and Rasner's version as well. That's the beauty of music. Not everything has to always fit in neatly, well-defined boxes, and a song can be fantastic as a ballad by a rock band, or a country music singer.
Hashtag I am a man of constant SOROOWW.
Her version actually is in CM in the movie while the original is in I'm Wrong.
I'd say Killing Me Softly by Fugees.
Agreed, but after only knowing Whitney's version for a long time, Dolly's is very sweet, and the backstory is special. As a young singer, after 7 years of working with Porter Wagoner, she had decided she needed to grow professionally and set out on her own. She wanted to leave on good terms and therefore wrote him this love song about separation. Give it a listen with those details in mind. In the 70s, in Nashville, finding a way to be an independent businesswoman who doesn't burn bridges. Elvis wanted to cover it, but wanted half the publishing rights to the song, and Dolly didn't want to give up the rights to her work, so he never did. She wrote it the same day she wrote Jolene.
Funny how the singer totally changes the context of the song. Same thing with Heard by Nin. From them, it's a song about a wanting his next fix. From Johnny Cash, it's a song about a man at the end of his life, reflecting on all that has happened to him.
Sinead O'Connor's Nothing Compares to You is amazing, but I even felt like crying when I listened to Chris Cornell's
House of the Rising Sun by the Animals.
Cohen was a constant tinkerer who made many versions of that song with alternate lyrics and different tempos. It's more than likely that the Cohen song that you are using for comparison was not the original either.
I Will Survive, Cake.
Reznor's was full of hurt in the frustrated, lost, self-loathing kind of way, and Cash's was full of hurt in the mournful, it's too late now, kind of music video also punches like a hammer to the chest.
Nirvana, Man Who Sold the World, MTV Unplugged, originally by Bowie, but I can only ever hear it with Kurt singing now. I think even Bowie appreciated the cover.
The Animals cover of House of the Rising Sun, and They Might Be Giants cover of Istanbul, not Constantinople.
Hot, it's the Soggy Bottom Boys. Clooney's mouth is always at least partially obscured when his character sings, presumably to make it smoother to dub someone else singing over it. Microphone in the studio and beard on stage.
Istanbul, not Constantinople, They Might Be Giants. Original by the Four Lads.
Originally a Prince song.
She says to put it in C minor, however what they play is definitely in G minor.
Fun fact, that's the same idea behind how the mask lip-syncing on stage. The bigger the baffle, foam bit, on the microphone, and the closer it is to the singer's mouth, the more likely it is they're up just about any Super Bowl halftime performance and you'll see it. Especially if there's lots of wind machines blasting their hair around and you don't hear it.
Wait, that's a cover?
Yeah, isn't there a quote from Dolly about her sometimes regretting turning down Elvis until Whitney's version came out and earned her enough royalties to buy Graceland?
He's bona fide.
Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers.
The Downward Spiral is a concept album. I've always understood Hurt to be after the main character had committed suicide, and was about his regret at having done so, and how he would find a way to live if he had a second chance.
Greater than it's not even so much the music. It's the context and accompanying video for Cash's version that make it such an incredibly powerful disagree. Even without context or video, it's still just as intense, and that's all down to his voice. The weariness and grief are palpable.
Red Red Wine UB40, originally by Neil Diamond.
I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett versus the original by The Arrows.
He-Man's What's?
It's actually not a romance song. Emotional. Yes, romance. No, Dolly wrote the song for her partner Porter Wagoner, of The Porter Wagoner Show, where Dolly got her big break thanks to spent so much time together. They truly loved each other. Dolly decided to leave The Porter Wagoner Show to pursue her own career alone. She knew there was no other way to break the news to Porter, so she wrote the when Porter Wagoner was nearly bankrupt. Dolly offered to buy his music catalog for a ridiculous sum of money at the time, which helped Porter get somewhat back on his. Porter asked her about buying his catalog back. Dolly sold it back to him for one. You don't like her music. If you think she's kind of a clown for the way she presents herself, it doesn't matter. She's the queen forever. She is the person everyone should aspire to. Was at Porter's side when he passed away in 2008. They had remained very close friends since 1967. She really did always love him.